What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And as you can see, we got my guys here, Kenny and Ira. What's good, boys? How y'all doing?
Doing good, doing blessed.
All right, that's a bet. That's a bet. Now, look, this is called Get a Bucket, right? And normally I do have the Gab trivias on deck. I'm gonna just speed past them. Because I wanted to talk with y'all boys about a couple NBA teams, right? And I'm gonna just do it like this. Let's go ahead and talk about the Atlantic Division real quick. The Boston Celtics. They got KP, they got JT, JB, right? They make some nice little moves. But is there a depth issue with this Celtics team? Ira, I'll start with you.
Um, I mean, not to my knowledge. I feel like they got everything covered. They didn't really have a depth issue last year. They lost because Jalen Brown can't use his left hand. So, I mean, like that doesn't help. And I hear most Celtics fans say he can use his left. He can do it. It's not about him not going left at all, like he was like from the 2020 finals to now, the 2022 finals and now. He couldn't go left at all in that finals, but now he can go left. But he still can't dribble in traffic with his left. So, and me personally, if I got guys like Caleb Martin talking about me like that, like, oh yeah, that was the game plan. Give him the ball, let him go to work. I'm gonna take some offense to that, and I'm definitely gonna come out there and try to get the next person I see 35. That's just me personally. But yeah,
That's
no depth, just Jalen Brown with the left. Got to work on it. Got to.
okay. Okay. Do you share that same sentiment as well, or
I mean, I think the game plan was effective. Jalen Brown was a dog in 2022, though. That I won't lie. I think he outplayed Tatum, but I think for now, who the point guard? You know what I mean? Where
well they
where
got
where
yeah.
where's Schroeder at? He gone. Where Marcus Smart at? He gone. You know what I mean? I think with the offense with the Celtics, where you got bottom five scorers like they do, a couple wings that are dogs. You need somebody who could facilitate the offense for them, get the easy buckets. They got the big man. They got the wings. You know what I mean? Now they got Porzingis too. Like I think at the end of the day, they just need a facilitator to make sure the offense runs smooth, and everything will go from there. And I think, but the other thing is, who's the dog? You know what I mean? That's what Marcus Smart was. He was
Mhm.
the chip. He was the Payless version of Draymond on their team, and now that he's gone, it's gonna be interesting to see what they look like,
That's
Okay.
especially.
that's
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm looking at this team: Derek White, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford. Like I said, that bench, that depth unit: Peyton Pritchard, Malcolm Brogdon, Sam Hauser, O'Shea Brissett, and then Robert Williams. Like Malcolm Cool, Rob Stray, a little injury prone. P Rabbit Eye. Like I do have a little question marks around this bench. It is coined by a Celtics fan. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I
the
did not
reason
give
nobody
him.
says that. It's the reason nobody say that.
You
Is
said
he
what?
okay with that?
He's okay with that. Like, I don't know if Peyton is, but I know the Celtics
Okay.
fan is. I know the Celtics fan is. Peyton, if you ain't cool with it again, your own people's called you that. So I don't know what to tell you. But all right, so it sounds like it got a little split decision, at least from y'all on this whole Boston Celtics depth thing. Got a little question marks from Kenny, not
I
so much
mean,
from
the
Ira.
last the last thing I'll put on it is I've been saying they need to start I said they need to start at Malcolm Brogdon last year, but Celtics fans feel otherwise. They feel like we don't need that, but they've always needed a point guard for as long as I've watched them. It's always been the same issues like last year. They didn't have nobody to get Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum easy buckets, so they had to do everything themselves. A lot of turnovers happened. They got clamped up a lot easier. It happened in the finals. It happened again in the Eastern Conference Finals. They start Malcolm Brogdon. Those things won't happen, but they're probably gonna start Derek White. And Malcolm Brogdon not gonna get as much minutes. It's not about who starts, who close, yada yada. I got all that, but rather have Malcolm Brogdon starting from the jump and just that's the point you traded for him for. You traded him to have a starting point guard, not a six man, because that's not what he is.
Okay, I got you. I got you. All right. Well, so moving off then from the Celtics, kind of this team has a point guard issue a little bit. Fellas, we got the 76ers. And then they got James Harden, right? I think it's wise to try and trade James Harden. I understand it. But is it foolish for them, the 76ers, to try and trade Joel Embiid? Kenny, let's start with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many franchise players in the league, like really true top five.
Mhm.
Guys like that MVP candidates. You know what I mean? Like he won the MVP. How you gonna trade the MVP? You know what I mean? How you gonna trade the MVP? Who's the last MVP that got traded the very next season? Tell me that.
Snap.
I think the only thing with them is you got James Harden. He don't know what he want to do. So like, if you gonna get rid of Joel, you got to get rid of the whole team and you got to rebuild. But for now, I think what they got to do is build around Joel, build a team, and get the assets and make them feel motivated and kind of go from there. So
Okay, okay. Ira, what's your thoughts on that? Is it foolish for the 76ers to trade Joel Embiid?
I mean, absolutely. I'm not the hugest fan of Joel Embiid, as you know, but I mean, not as crazy to trade him now. I don't see the purpose, but the window is closing. I will put that on there. The window is closing. Feel like maybe 2, 3 more seasons of this, and if they keep getting bounced out the second round time and time again, then it probably will be time to trade Joel Embiid. I think they're already looking to move in that direction. I heard earlier this year they didn't resign Tyrese Maxey because they wanted to keep open 2 max spots, possibly going into next free agency to possibly bring in some guys to help Joel Embiid. But bottom line for me with the Sixers is James Harden is probably one of the most overrated greats of all time because the brother cannot deliver one good playoff game. Haven't seen it in his entire 13-year career in the league.
You
Uh,
missed, did you miss the 240 burgers that he gave in this past playoffs? I'm just asking.
Anthony
Yeah,
Davis was. I was told Anthony Davis was an anomaly, so I guess James Harden in the playoff games are an anomaly as well. Two
that's
games for a lifetime of sales. That's what
well,
I'm
I
putting
mean,
I mean,
he's
I mean,
also snapped in some playoffs before, brother. But all right,
against
I mean,
who? Against who? The first
I
round
mean,
against the lesser teams. I just
he's
want to put
had
that out.
playoff success plenty of Ira.
yeah,
One,
I mean, he
one,
almost, I mean,
one,
he
one
almost
this
beat the
conference
Warriors with
on
KD.
NBA.
It wasn't for if it was a Chris Paul ankle away from beating the Warriors with KD.
I see that.
I don't want to
I
get too
see
far
that.
away from this conversation. We
But
talking
Joel
about
Embiid,
Joel
Joel
Embiid, not
Embiid got both.
Harden.
I'm sorry, both of them better. I call them the free throw. The free throw brothers got to play better before I get up and believe in them anymore. Because what I saw in this postseason was just a
But see, here,
monstrosity.
okay, so hearing your points, it would make me think that it's not foolish for the 76ers to trade James Harden, especially if you're calling them the free throw.
Oh, we froze Trey. Yeah,
I'm saying based on, yeah, okay. So now we back from the technical difficulties. I hate these routers reset. That was crazy. But now I don't know if it's necessarily foolish to think you trade Joel Embiid, like depending on what you get back. Like
yeah.
I'm thinking Joel Embiid probably has two more seasons at this level. Um, and now knowing that I got James Harden, who I don't believe I can get to the championship with that duo anymore, I got a little worrisome. I got a little worries right there. So I don't necessarily believe it's foolish. Would I probably pull the trade right now? I'd have to have a really good trade come my way. So I probably won't do it, but I don't think it's foolish. Again, just gotta get some solid pieces back. Like we saw what Rudy Gobert went for. So I'm assuming something similar plus. But yeah, I can't personally say foolish, brothers. But
That trade broke the market. Now everybody wants 7 first-round picks or stars.
yeah, that one did kind of mess it up a little bit for us. I ain't gonna lie to you. But
6 picks.
speaking of another bad organization, sorry 76ers fans.
Oh,
But the Knicks, I gotta this one's been hurting me and it's really been bothering me for a while. Is Tibbs on the hot seat? Because I don't like him at all. He's not on the hot seat to you. He would be on the hot seat to me, my boy. Ira, why is he not on the hot seat to you?
He's not on the hot seat because the team has gotten better. They've gone deeper. Like the first year he had Julius Randle, they made the first round of playoff. Got bounced, went back. They said we ain't gonna make no adjustments. We just gonna run the same team back. They didn't make the playoffs because teams keyed in on Julius, locked
mhm.
Julius up, said make somebody else beat you, and nobody else could beat him. So then they get Jalen Brunson. Now you got somebody that can beat you. Jalen Brunson beat you. Julius Randle beat you. Even though Julius Randle still had a pretty rough playoffs once again. Jalen Brunson was still a force that they couldn't guard both. Like you saw that teams look, they put Bam on Julius, they put the dogs on Julius,
Mhm.
but they didn't really put nobody on Jalen. Like Jimmy didn't guard Jalen for most of the series because of his ankle, of course. But bottom line is, it's two versus one. That's what it is. And Thibodeau has shown that in his ways that he's giving them success, and I don't think the Knicks can find anybody worthwhile replacing him with anyway if they were to go in that direction of firing him.
Interesting. Kenny,
And
how do you feel the same way?
yeah, I mean, if we just look at it, right? Like me and my boy, we went to Madison Square Garden this season, no flex, but it was like, who's on the Knicks? They got a bunch of B players. They ain't got no A players. So how you gonna be mad at them? You know what I mean? Like
Well,
outside of being in Madison Square Garden, who are you really paying crazy money to go see? You paying them because they the Knicks. You know what I mean? And so the fact that a couple years ago they got to the second round with Julius Randle
mm,
coming off that contract, that's a win. And then we realized Julius Randle's not a superstar,
mm.
not even necessarily a star. He's just a really good player. You know what I mean? Even off the field or off the field, excuse me, off the court. And Jalen Brunson, like he played better than what we expected to. And you got into the second round, and who did they lose to? They
Right?
lost to the Eastern Conference champions. You know what I mean? So how we gonna fire him off that? It ain't making sense to me. Make sense. Make it make sense to me.
I mean, so like I don't like Tibbs from this standpoint. I understand what y'all saying about, the roster might not be the best in terms of talent wise, but you still have a competent team. And I think Jalen Brunson's a big addition to that squad. And I think that actually helps Tibbs. But realistically, I didn't see Tibbs make enough changes the way I thought you should. You were struggling as a team shooting wise, and you had someone on your bench that could actually shoot the ball and help you out, person, Evan Fournier.
He
Really?
can't
Let's
play
not do that.
defense.
Let,
He
let,
can't
let,
play. He
let's
can't
not
play
act like Evan
defense.
Fournier can't shoot the ball.
He
He
can't
got a
play
good Tracy
defense.
package in
He's a
his
traffic
repertoire. Let's
cone.
not do that.
The brother's a traffic cone on defense. Tom Thibodeau has been consistent over his entire career over one thing. If you can't play defense, you will not touch that floor. I
But
don't care. I don't care
why did
how
he lose? Why did he lose though? Because
you
their team couldn't shoot that three ball the way they needed to. They couldn't score the
and
way
then
they needed
Evan
to.
Fournier
And
and
you
then
got hold on. And you had players like Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose on.
damn.
See, every time he say something crazy, that's what
That's what
happens.
I be saying, man. Maybe the Wi-Fi trying to tell him something, man. The Wi-Fi trying to tell him
I'm
something.
trying to tell y'all boys, Tibbs is
You
not
fighting
that good
hard,
of a
fight
coach.
back, Trey. Why
And
you
it's
take
to
me
the
out?
point where, can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Okay,
Fight
man.
back.
And it's to the point where I even have a New York fan that's like, like I'm not the biggest on Tibbs too. So like if I say he's on the hot seat, and I understand that this team is competent enough to get to the second round in the playoffs, and with a little bit of tweaks, we might be able to get to the finals. Like we might be able to with the right person. Because you're telling me a star wouldn't want to play with Jalen Brunson, who has shown he can help lead you to at least a conference finals. You got Julius Randle, decent player. If you put him as a third option, you mean tell me that deep New York Knicks team can't get to the chip? Word.
So why would you take Tibbs out then if you're saying they need another player to get to that level?
Because for me, I don't think Tibbs is going to bring the confidence that someone would want to go play with him, respectfully. Like, all right, cool. We had D Rose, who was drafted by the Bulls, played with Tibbs, great. Outside of that, I can't see another like star player wanting to come play with Tibbs. Like, he doesn't draw that appeal to me.
Can I stop you real quick? You do know when D Rose got back with him in Minnesota, he had that 50-point game right after all the ACL and meniscus tears. So that should tell you alone that he inspires confidence in
You
players.
mean the redemption
But
where he's trying to
but
get back and show himself? Got you.
either way, he inspires confidence in his players. And first off, your first mistake listen to a Knicks fan. What does a Knicks fan know about winning? They haven't never seen winning. They don't even know what it is.
He
They
has.
don't know what it is.
I'm
No, they don't
talking
know
about
what it
the
is.
coach.
They don't know what
The
they don't know what it
coach.
takes to winning. They don't know
Coach.
anything about winning remotely. So that's step wrong. They just going with the flow at this point. Whatever happens, happens. Um Jalen Brunson came into New York has a backup point guard. They paid a backup point guard $120 million. You know that, right? Like that's what they paid. And you telling me that Tom Thibodeau didn't inspire any confident Jalen Brunson to be like, hey yo, go get 24 a game. You telling me that we all expected Jalen Brunson to go out there and get 24 a game last year. Did not happen. Even with RJ Barrett with his inconsistency.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. What he showed on on the Mavs, it wasn't
Absolutely not. No way he saw Jalen Brunson
overly surprising. This man was hooping on that team. Like
24 games.
That was a week, bro. That was like a week of hooping.
Thank you. 24 games.
I'm talking about the whole year. The playoffs just highlighted him. I like Brunson. I like Brunson last year. It wasn't just the playoffs.
But you did not think Brunson was going to get that bag, right?
No, fair. Absolutely.
Why wouldn't he get after the playoffs?
Bro, he had one game, and that was in the Jazz game when he had 38. Then Sun series, he
had one game, Ira.
The Jazz series was the Jazz series was the series that got him paid. The Sun series, he was not the force that he was in the Jazz series.
Do you think the Mavs would have let him go if they thought he was going to be this nice?
I think the Mavs are dumb as hell.
There it is, right there. You think Mark Cuban?
I think the Mavs are dumb as hell.
Why would Mark Cuban pay a backup point guard 120 million?
Because he's not a backup point guard.
Where are you gonna start him on the Mavericks? Why? How would he start?
That's the starting position. What are we talking about right now?
How? Luka's the point guard. Where are you gonna put him at the 2 guard?
Is he? That's crazy. So real quick, on the Mavs, why did he start?
He never started for the Mavs. What do you mean?
Jalen Brunson never started for the Mavericks.
Probably a few times.
Okay, hold on. Because see, I love when folks try to say stuff and you can bring up a little evidence. Because I definitely watched this, brother. So you don't have to look at your phone, brother. I'm about to pull up the stats real quick. You see this right here? It says games. 79. 61 games he started. That's a lot of the season there, Ira. But you're acting like he can't start. Also, my fault. How many points did he give that season to? My bad. What was it? So he gave 16, 5. That ain't bad at all. And let's look what he did in playoffs. 22. Like, respectfully, if he did that in the playoffs, like normally when we say if people increase their production from the regular season to the playoffs, you got to give them credit. And that brother definitely did that. So I can't say it's surprising that now he has more green light that he can get 24 a game and be looked at as a leader, because he was also looked at as a leader on that.
You better hope Jalen Brunson come out with the 24 a game again. He come out, he gets 17 a game. You'll take on.
But like, what happens on this season? Yeah, he should be able to get 20 plus in the season. Like, come on now.
All right. I just want to put an FY out there that
I got you.
That part of the reason that he probably got 25 a game is nobody in the NBA knew Jalen Brunson was capable of this. Now that they have a somewhat of an idea that he is, there's going to be a lot more game plan, 99 basis on Jalen Brunson for sure. So if he can survive the incoming game plans that he will receive, we'll see how well he fares.
Well, look, I'm so happy that you said that, Ira. I really am, because this next team that I'm about to bring up kind of has a player that I talk highly on, but people say something similar too. Like, now that you got a game plan on him, you didn't expect him to do this much. So we'll see how it shakes as well. But the Brooklyn Nets, they got Mikal Bridges, who I say is going to be all NBA next year. All right. It's fair to say they're the dark horse of the East.
They're not. They're not doing much of. I don't like. Mikal Bridges is great and all, but I just want to put a retrospect out there. When they traded Kyrie and Kevin Durant, they lost a lot of games out there. Mikal Bridges was hooping, but they were losing a lot of games. They lost a lot of games.
You do know that they maintain that playoff.
Maintaining and winning is two different things. They maintained
it with no off season. You have maintained it with no planning.
All right, okay, I got you. Cool. Mikal Bridges might make All NBA with the requirement of playing 65 games and being that he plays all 82. That is more realistic than anything else possibly in this NBA season that may happen. However, please name me. And they paid Cam Johnson. Hopefully, Cam Johnson elevates his game. But name me what's going on at the point guard spot and out there.
All right. So let me list off the names.
What's going on at the center spot? Nick Claxton is getting 15 a game or something.
Hold on.
Deep bitch.
I'm about to share the tab with you, man.
I can't.
So you got here Spencer Dinwiddie, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith,
Spencer Dinwiddie,
So you got Ben Simmons. So I ain't gonna hold you now. Ben Simmons makes this Nets team interesting because if he comes back healthy and he returns to form, that list looks vicious. And you got Cam Thomas on the bench too.
He not getting no PT.
He might not, but you got him as a possibility. I also like Lonnie Walker and Dennis Smith Jr. Again, I always say this. And matter of fact, hold on, because I might even have to go on a soapbox real quick. You never want to let go of a person from Fayetteville. That's all I'm saying. You can't not at all. But I like that team, fellas. I really truly do. So I mean, I think they're a dark horse in the East. Kenny, what's your stance on the Nets?
Well, I think they're all right. You know what I mean? I think it's like, I guess it's like expectations are everything in life. That's what I always tell people. So it's like when we say dark horse, is that saying we think they could finish top 4? Like I don't think that's possible,
I
right?
feel like they could possibly get to the. It's on being not championship, but like possibly Western Conference Finals, where it's like, oh, that I didn't peg them to get here, like that year, like the year the Blazers got to the Western Conference Finals. You might not have thought they were going to get there. That's why I think of dark horse.
Okay. Yeah.
Finals, God.
I mean, anything. Actually, I mean, if there were 6 last year, even though a lot of that was on the
They got swept
KD,
though. They
yeah.
got swept. And Joel Embiid was hurt. James Harden still ain't played that good. They got swept.
Again, I said
They played awful, and they got swept. They didn't even score.
with,
They scored over 100 one time in that game.
with the return of a Ben Simmons,
Ben
and if he
Simmons
comes
don't
back
make
and if he
shots,
comes back healthy and motivated, I think that bolsters that team drastically.
I agree, but that's
Right.
it's like we got to give up on Ben Simmons. Like Clutch Sports gave up on Ben Simmons. Why are we still giving Ben Simmons a shot? You know what I mean? Rich Paul done gave up on him after everything. So it's like, how's that gonna be the difference?
You praying, Trey? You praying?
Right.
Praying
You know what I mean?
Ben Simmons, I don't look. I ain't gonna knock when the brother healthy and he play, he can be a force. But these last 2.5 years, I don't know.
Man, the dude they talking about him. All he doing is posting pictures of his house and his jewelry. And it's like, bro, you got to get out there and ball. Like,
And we,
man,
you know,
I've been hearing that he getting in the gym though. So
bro, we saw
are
that.
you know he making threes again on IG?
No. I've been hearing that he been working out type stuff. So all I'm gonna say, look, it's the off season. Give the brother a little time. This might be the last chance.
Look, man, every year we see NBA players go out there and play guys like us and be hitting every shot, and then people be like, "Oh snap, he didn't got nice, bro. He not playing on NBA talent out there. He
I don't
playing
know.
us."
It didn't sound like he's practicing on his game though. It sounded like he's practicing on his
If Ben
physical.
Simmons can make shots at 24-hour fitness over me, congratulations. He is an elite player.
I don't think that's what the reports were saying. It wasn't a basketball game workout type thing. It's more like working out physically, and that's what he needs to focus on. Make sure he's strong enough on this team. But on this Nets team, he doesn't have to shoot. You got everybody surrounding you can shoot the ball. Everybody.
Didn't they have better shooters with KD,
yes,
Kyrie, Joe? Like, I would rather have those as my shooters, and I'm facilitating.
They had JJ Redick.
I'd rather have that.
So are we talking about the 76ers team that ultimately threw Ben Simmons under the bus? Or are we talking about the Brooklyn Nets team where when you had KD and Kyrie and them, you were injured, and then they were also kind of injured too as well. And there's a whole bunch of it was a whole bunch of mess. It was a whole mess over there.
I'm with Kenny on that.
Bro, when you got your what's your UNC cat's name? I forgot his name.
Chris.
Danny Green. When you got OGs like Danny Green who are respected in the league, and they got no respect for you, I feel like that speaks volumes at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid, but when Danny Green, a champion, 2-time, it's like, bro, it's a problem. You know what I mean? You hear Kyrie, you don't hear KD say anything positive about Ben Simmons. They just leave it alone.
And then Steven Jackson also said on All the Smoke that I think it was Steven Jackson. I don't know. I ain't gonna quote his name and be wrong, but I think he said somebody on the line said that Brett Brown coddled Ben Simmons too much. Like Brett Brown never forced him to work on his game. Brett Brown let him get by doing whatever he chose to do, and that's how it went. And now that he's being challenged and taxed to actually be a basketball player, not just go out there and do whatever it is he want to do.
Mhm.
It Doc Rivers won't putting up with the BS. Doc Rivers said either you gonna play or you gonna sit out, bro. You pick. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you.
Okay.
Like
All right.
I go old school. You know, the old school just get tired of you then. Yeah, your
Okay.
future is grim.
All right. I mean, I'm hearing no love for Ben Simmons. That's cool. That's fine. That's Danny. I still believe.
Love.
Yeah, I still
Love
believe
for
the Nets
them.
are the dark horse of the East, but we gotta wait and see. I like to be optimistic, fellas. I like to be
You did
optimistic.
say you was gonna clip this. Make sure you clip that take right there.
I
Nets
got you. I got you. I
go
got
for
you.
the Eastern
I
Conference
got.
Finals.
I got you. I got you. Now, how about here these Raptors? Right. Are we at the point now where we need to trade Siakam and Gary Trent Jr.? Ira saying yes. Kenny, how you feeling?
Uh, I
Because
mean,
I mean, right now you might be a star. You might be in the same situation you were when you brought in Kawhi. Like you're just a star away from possibly winning the championship.
Huh?
You have a really good team in place, right? So you got Gary Trent Jr., Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Jakob Poeltl. If you're telling me that's not a strong foundation to bring for a star to come in and work with to win a championship,
what level star? Because I mean, free agency's over. I mean, we gotta look at the trade deadline. Like, what level star are we talking about? Because
well,
they lost Fred, right? Who's not a star, but obviously,
overrated. I think he's overrated. You're not
he's
really
a,
looking too
yeah.
much.
I mean, yeah, he got he got 40 mil, so he's a player. You know, he's not a star. Like,
I
what
think
what
that's dumbassery of the Rockets, but I hear you though. I do hear you. I do hear you. When I think player, I'm thinking not necessarily all star, slightly a little bit above that. Like, because again, they brought in Kawhi Leonard to win their championship.
But
So,
Kawhi was so good, we forget in that playoff run.
He averaged 30.
Conversation is Kawhi the best player in the NBA?
He averaged
When he
30.
but that's why I
And
say,
they barely won. Barely.
but that's why I say, if you bring in someone around that caliber, maybe even a little lower,
Ooh,
you could possibly win a championship. Like, imagine Dame on this team.
no.
Word? Hold
No.
on. Dame, Gary, Scotty, Pascal, Jakob Pertl.
No.
You're
Not
wildin'.
close.
Stop the
Not
cap.
close.
Stop the cap. They
Not
can
even
battle
close.
with the bigs because
Not
Jakob ain't no
close.
scrub. You
Once
can
you,
go
once you,
mobile if
all
you need to
right.
because Pascal has shown he can run the five. You also
Got
got
it.
Chris Boucher
I
there.
got it.
And you've
yeah.
seen what Dame has done with Portland, what he
Got it.
had. Gary Trent 6'4", he can shoot and defend. Plus, he with my Blue
Got
Devils,
it.
so you know he come from good stock. Then on top of that, you got Scotty Barnes, who's like Ira. Don't what?
Hold
Don't.
up. Hold up. I got him.
You
That's
just
plus
don't believe in
Got him.
Dame. That's what you're
I
saying.
got him.
You don't believe in the short guards. I get you. Now
Got
I
him.
understand. I
Got him. I
understand.
got
I
him. I
understand.
got him.
You don't
I
believe in
got him.
Dame.
I got him. You speak highly of Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant, Pascal Siakam, tomato. We not gonna do
Bro, hey, brother, there are levels to this. I like Jeremy Grant. Do not get me wrong. Jeremy's not an all-star. Pascal is.
Okay.
Like, come on
Jeremy
now.
not a winner either. Jeremy got empty buckets. If we being honest, like he got his
All right.
buckets
It's a
in the
little
playoffs.
aggressive.
That too
He's a
much.
little
Okay,
aggressive.
we
You
can't we
lose
can't use
me a
spoilers. We
little bit
can't
on
use
that
spoilers.
one.
Bottom line is the Raptors plays 12th, not 8th, not ninth, 12th.
Because you're replacing their point guard. Fred VanVleet for Dame. You can't tell me they're not going upwards. You cannot tell me they're not going
I
upwards.
can't say they're not going upwards, but I
Oh,
can say
and I
they're
forgot OG
definitely not.
Anunoby,
I
who
can
didn't
say they're
even play that
definitely.
much. What are
They
we
beat
talking
Jim.
about?
They're not beating Boston or Milwaukee with that roster.
They're not.
No,
So
no.
yeah, hold on. Just hear me. Y'all just entertain this though. So we got who is it? Derek White versus Dame. Dame. You got Jalen Brown versus, and I say Gary Trent, but Gary might have to be six man now that I think about it, because you got OG Anunoby, who was also in the depoy conversation at one point in time during the season for a long period too. Not to mention. So I think it goes Jalen, but OG ain't no scrub. Then you got here Scotty Barnes versus Jason Tatum, which I don't think Scotty gonna get punked like that. Now it's Jason's for the win, but Scotty ain't no scrub. Now you got Kristaps Porzingis recently versus Pascal Siakam, and if you want to tell me that KP gonna win that one, I can understand. But I personally might lean Pascal Siakam just because of the availability that he has shown, and KP just gave me 68 games one season, and then Pirtle, like Horford, Pirtle's younger, double. Like I'm Horford might have more talent, but it's a wash. Like
You heard it. You heard it here first on the Get a Bucket podcast. If the Raptors get Dame, they're beating the Celtics in a 7-game series. Trey Wilder, host of the Get a Bucket podcast, said that. I did not say that. And I'm on you not gonna like this, which is crazy.
Like, but like they're not gonna like your take. They're gonna like mine though. That's all I'm saying.
The Raptors beating the Celtics if they
So do you not? So is it more so you don't believe in Dame or the team? Like,
I
cause
don't believe in the Raptors that much, man. Like, yo, what
okay,
you think Pascal Siakam will come out here and match Dame 25 with his own 25?
he gave you 20.
Efficiently. In the bubble, the last time they were in the playoff, well, no, the year before that, I don't even know what he did. I don't think he played well in the first round.
This past season, he gave 24 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists on 48% from the field, 32% from the three. The only thing I'll give you is the 3-point, but he's not really a 3-point shooter.
Didn't we just say
48% from the field is pretty good.
Didn't we just say Jeremy Grant's getting empty buckets? How this ain't the same? Because they ain't going nowhere. They were trash.
How is it not the same?
They were trash. The Raptors were trash.
Respectfully, they aren't trash. Like that whole bottom East part, it was a couple games separated. And I don't act like if you actually watch the Raptors, this man actually hooped. Like I'm not
denying that.
I'm not gonna say they got empty. I'm not gonna say they got empty buckets. I even said that to Kenny about Jeremy.
Yeah.
So like that's a little tough. But all right, so we got here. You're saying trade Siakam and Gary Trent. Long story short, Ira. Kenny, do you stand on that or no?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, I think if you bring Dame and if you have, addition by subtraction, obviously Dame's a big addition. Like, I look at like Donovan Mitchell on the Cavs this past season. Like, that's pretty much where I'll put the Raptors if they got the addition of Dame. Like, they're gonna be a great regular season team. They're gonna be entertaining. But when it comes to the playoffs, I don't see them getting over the Sixers. I don't see them getting over the Bucks. And shit, they damn near might not even get over the Heat at the end of the day. So it's entertainment. They're gonna sell some seats, and that's what it is.
They can't shoot. They ain't got no shooters in Toronto.
Gary Trent, Grady Dick might pan out to be something like.
Well, you named the
bringing
second
in
guy
a shooter. I'm just saying, like you got.
Wait, so the second guy you named is a guy that has not even played in the NBA
yet. I say he might pan out. Was literally the next.
I said the second guy you named has not even played in the NBA yet.
That's just why I said might. You got to wait and see. Like I gotta bank on a rookie on the optimistic side.
If I got to bank on a rookie player to be my savior, we already down bad.
So are you saying it's impossible for that to happen if they got Dame? They couldn't beat the Celtics.
Nothing's impossible, but that is highly unlikely.
Okay. All right. I got you. I'm tracking. But now, fellas, I greatly appreciate this. We went a little bit over the time. We had some technical difficulties. But I think overall it was a good conversation. Did y'all have anything you wanted to say before we close up shop?
Let's not talk about the losers next time. Let's just keep.
Bro, Paolo is not a loser, okay? Like I talked about specific players, not the whole team. Because we went over the teams, we would not have gotten past.
I ain't gonna lie, Detroit. That should never happen again.
What? If you get up here,
same with Indiana. Like
if you get up here and we gotta talk about the Spurs,
we can't give no love. I'm trying to give love to all the teams.
Son, if we gotta talk about the Spurs, if we gotta talk about the Spurs or the Rockets next, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start the one. Like what we gonna say? Win. That's the only expectation we got.
But it's not for those teams though. So again, the idea is literally just to say what. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's for specific players, but we're also gonna talk about other players when we talk about that specific player. So, for example, when we're talking about who do we talk about for the Embiid trade, we mentioned Harden, we mentioned a couple other players. Like so, that was the whole premise behind it. Just talking about like players, because I agree. If we're talking about Detroit, best case, I see them as like a play-in team right now.
Oh, Lord, scared me again. I don't know what you was about to say.
What play-in teams not fair?
I was about to say top 6 for a second. I was about to walk away. And he was like, "Oh Lord."
Oh my gosh, I'm still upset. Y'all don't believe Dame can't win no championship on that Raptors squad. That's wild. Gary off the bench.
You send that in the group chat right now.
I got you. But now, fellas, like I said, I greatly appreciate this. And so we will definitely have y'all back on again. I'll take into consideration what you said, so I'll try to mix it up a little bit. Maybe I won't do the East or the West. I'll just do 15 teams since y'all want to be divas about it. So we'll see
Well,
how.
you talk about the Pistons, fam.
Everybody gotta get love, bro. Like, come on now, you gotta rock with them Pistons, man. You gotta rock with them Pistons.
If the Lakers suck, I would expect nobody to ever talk about them.
We did suck, and I expected people to talk about us. No, but ladies and gentlemen, hope you all have a good one. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. Also, if you ever need of an agent, you can go talk to my man Kenny right here. He's one of the best agents in the game right here. If you ever want to watch some takes that you might not like, Ira has you covered on You're Not Gonna Like This. So I just want to give a little plugs right there for my boys. But like I said, I hope you all enjoy this one. Take care.
Appreciate y'all.
Shout out Brooklyn.
Shout out Brooklyn. All right, that's a bet. That's a bet.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.